Think about the night sky. Every star, every constellation, every planet floating in the dark. We live our entire lives under the assumption that those objects will stay exactly where they are, locked into safe, predictable orbits that will never intersect with our own. But an unusually close interaction with a massive gravitational body, like a passing rogue object or the immense mass of Jupiter, is all it takes to break that stability. That interaction knocks Venus out of its ancient path, bending its trajectory directly toward Earth. You can't shoot down a planet. Our entire global nuclear arsenal is practically microscopic compared to an object weighing 4.8 times 10 to the 24th power kilograms. Once that mass curves toward us, there is absolutely no human technology capable of stopping it. 6 weeks before impact, it appears as a pale disk cutting through the daylight. 2 weeks later, it swells to 4 times the size of a full moon, dominating the sky over every city on Earth and visibly accelerating. There are no war room scenarios or defensive strategies left. The realization settling over the global population is that this approaching mass cannot be diverted. We can only stand on the surface and watch it arrive. Venus doesn't actually need to make physical contact to tear our civilization apart. The sheer gravitational pull of an approaching planet begins the execution weeks before surfaces ever touch. Our oceans respond first. As the gravitational stress drastically distorts the tides, coastal regions are swallowed by surging walls of water hundreds of meters high. Every major coastline collapses under the sheer weight of the ocean long before a single rock falls from the sky. Then, the uneven gravitational pull physically stretches Earth's crust. Intense shear force separates deep continental plates, triggering extreme magnitude earthquakes across every active fault line. The Pacific Ring of Fire ignites all at once, violently tearing apart regions stable for millions of years. Deep crustal fractures tear open pockets of magma that have sat dormant for millennia. Supervolcanoes, exactly like the massive caldera hidden beneath Yellowstone, completely rip open their rock ceilings and initiate immediate catastrophic eruptions. Between the atmospheric scouring and the global geological fracturing, power grids and communications fail entirely. Organized human life ends under a sky of unrecognizable colors, while the killer planet is still millions of kilometers away. In the final hours, the distance between the two worlds closes completely. Their atmospheres physically crash into one another, violently mixing and turning our sky a sickening shade of yellow. Venus's atmosphere is a lethal mixture of carbon dioxide laced with thick clouds of sulfuric acid. As it aggressively bleeds into our oxygen-rich environment, it floods the surface with highly corrosive gas. On the side facing the incoming planet, surface temperatures spike past the boiling point of water. The remaining oceans violently vaporize, rapidly rising into the ruined atmosphere as a massive wall of superheated steam. And then, the solid surfaces meet. There is no singular explosion. What actually occurs is a sudden, incomprehensible transfer of kinetic energy, releasing power equivalent to billions of nuclear weapons firing in the exact same millisecond. The massive shockwave tears straight through the interior. Bedrock frozen solid for 4 billion years is forced through an instantaneous phase change, melting into liquid, vaporizing into gas, and igniting into an exploding plasma that blows the far side of Earth open. Neither Earth nor Venus survives the encounter. Within 24 hours, the two distinct worlds suffer complete mutual annihilation, melting down together into a single glowing mass of liquid magma. The thermal event is absolute. The extreme heat penetrates to the deepest caves and instantly neutralizes the strongest underground bunkers. Every single organism, every microbe, every plant, and every human being is erased simultaneously. The The sheer physical force of the collision violently snaps the gravitational tether holding the moon in place. Ejected from its ancient orbit, it is sent drifting out into the solar system, eventually doomed to fall into the sun. What remains is a highly unstable superplanet. For millions of years, it is continuously bombarded by the fiery debris of its own violent creation. But eventually, over billions of years, a new crust forms, and the long, slow chemistry of life may begin again from absolute zero. As destructive as this scenario is, our current existence relies on the exact same mechanism. 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized object smashed into the early Earth. That kinetic violence merged the two bodies into the planet we live on today and spun off the material that formed our moon. We only exist because that catastrophic impact happened before biological life began. Our 4.5 billion year run is a cosmic,